In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a brand new track from a blank map. On the top left here, you want to click Create Blank Map. Then in the map name, you can call it whatever you want. We're going to call this Strega's Map Test. You can type anything you want in the map description. When you create a blank map, it is set to private by default because you're hand drawing a map and you haven't verified yet that if a legal track and if it's in an area that is writable. You could draw tracks anywhere you wanted. Doesn't mean you can actually go out there and write it. So once you've written it, you can come back here and upload the active track so you know it's an accurate file. But as far as drawing it goes, it's set to private by default. You can use the explicit view permissions section here to allow certain people to view this while it's still set to private. If I wanted to allow Crafty Coder here to view it, I would just start typing his name and you'll see that it starts popping up. If I wanted my buddy Chris to be able to view it, I would start typing his username, Crawdaddy, and my buddy Rich, start typing in his username. There it is. That would explicitly allow these three people to view that map. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Create Blank Map. Once that pops up, you're going to notice that the map here is blank. Well, we want to start drawing a track by hand now. You can take the mouse wheel, scroll the mouse wheel in to zoom if you'd like, or you can use the toolbar here on the left side for zooming. What I'm going to do is click on Modify Map Tracks here on the left, and then I'm going to click on the New Track button. You can draw these tracks by hand. You can be very generic, or you can get very specific. So I'm drawing these in a fairly generic fashion. Now if you have the cursor anywhere on the screen, if you click and hold, you notice that that hand pops up and you can pull the map around to be able to move it so you can continue drawing without stopping the line. Now the reason I'm doing this is just a very basic track along this road is I'm going to use a really neat feature called Snap to Road. I'm going to double click at the end to complete the track, and in the top left here where it says New Track, I'm going to call this Red Rock Canyon Entrance. This is in the Red Rock Canyon State Park, west of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm also going to make this set green as too easy because I know it happens to be a paved road and it's very easy to ride. Don't forget to click Save Track. And you'll notice that that's just a couple of points there. If I really wanted to snap it to the road and be really accurate, I could do that. But if you're trying to save on waypoints, that's a decent way to do it because there's nowhere else you can really ride there. You're going to be right on that road. As long as you have some fairly decent waypoints along there, you're going to be fine. But you can use the Snap Track to Road button here in the track editing tools. Snap to Road, you click that once. I'm going to click this second waypoint here, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the last waypoint here. There it goes. It found its way around the road. I'm going to click Yes because it looks right, and there you go. Now you can see in that last one I maybe had 15 points that I drew around there. I'm going to go over here and click the Edit Track Points button, and you're going to see it. Look at all the waypoints here. We've sure added a whole bunch, but it sure looks nice. So just keep in mind when you snap to the road, it's going to create a whole ton of waypoints. If I wanted to move any of these waypoints, I would simply just zoom in. I could grab this waypoint. I could move it anywhere I want on the road. It's just that easy. Zooming back out using my mouse wheel, I'm going to click Save. The entrance here. I'm going to click Edit again. Remember we started that snap to track here. I'm actually going to take this point here, and every time I move a point, another point appears, which is really handy. And I'm going to take this track point, move it there, move this here. There we go. Now we've successfully edited some track waypoints. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here using the mouse wheel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another track. I'm going to show you how easy this is. I'm going to click Create New Track. it's asking me to save the old one. So I need to click that again. I'm just going to click one waypoint here and one here. I'm going to double click because it's the last point. Now I'm going to use the snap to road, clicking on the first waypoint, clicking on the last waypoint. There you go, it looks right. I'm going to click yes. I know this is called Rocky Gap Road, and I know there's a really hard section in there, so I'm going to label that red for difficult. I'm going to click Save Track. We now have two tracks in there, the green one and the red one. This one's orange right now because that's the one that's selected here. If I click on Rocky Gap Road here, you'll see that one's selected in orange, so you can tell which one you have selected if you're going to do some editing. Now, if I wanted to join these tracks together, that would be very easy to do because the end of the track is here. The beginning of the next track is also right here, as you can see. There's a button here called the reverse track button. For example, if I had started this here, the first waypoint here, and then ended it here, the end of my track would be right here. And if I tried to join this track, it would take the end of this first track and try to join it to the beginning of this next track, so it would be backwards. So this is a good way to show you how to delete a track, so we can show you how that works. Click on the track here, click delete, save changes. I'm just going to go ahead and add another track and show you what I mean about the reverse track. One point here, one point at the end. I'm going to double click it. Like I said, this is Rocky Gap Road. I'm going to label it red. I'm going to click save. So I'm clicked on the first track here up on the top left, and I want to join it together. You can join that if I click on the icon there. See how the green icon here? Because it's the end of the track here. It needs to join it to the beginning of a track. Well, that's way over here, so that's not going to work so good. Push the Join Tracks button again to cancel. So what I'm going to do is click Join Tracks to cancel. Then what I need to do is click on this Rocky Gap Road, and I need to click the reverse track so it takes the beginning and throws it up here. So we click that one time, save the changes, and now look what it's going to do. When we zoom in here, I'm going to click Join Tracks, end here, beginning here. There you go. Going to go ahead and zoom out. Well, that's a pretty crappy track there. So we're going to snap it to the road. We're going to use this waypoint here, the last waypoint there, snap to the road. Perfect. Well, the problem is now we have one track, and it's not going to be a good one. It's not very accurate. It's going to be one green track, but this section over here is a very difficult rock garden. We need to get in here. We need to split the track, and we need to split it right here. So the entrance track is good. This track we're going to call Rocky Gap Road. We're going to color it red. And there you go. Now you have the two tracks. You can very easily go in here and edit this first track, edit the waypoint, stick that up there, manually move it over. All done.